The bass line thudded through the floorboards like a second heartbeat, but the moment I spotted the empty circle of pale skin on her left ring finger, every other sound in the house vanished. I stood frozen halfway down the staircase, one hand still on the banister, the other clutching a bottle of champagne I'd grabbed from the kitchen to celebrate our 8th anniversary. Sarah was laughing in the living room, head thrown back, the way she used to laugh at my stupid puns in college. Except the laugh wasn't for me tonight. It floated toward the DJ booth where Mark, my best man, my business partner, the guy who'd carried my drunk ass home from Vegas, leaned in close enough to count the freckles across her collarbone. She twisted the stem of her wine glass, and the overhead lights caught the blank space where our wedding band should have been. My stomach dropped so hard I felt it in my knees. 8 hours earlier, everything had been perfect. Sarah had kissed me goodbye at the door, whispering, "Wear the blue shirt, babe. It makes your eyes look like the ocean." I'd spent the afternoon stringing fairy lights across the backyard, arranging the playlist we'd dance to the night I proposed, even chilling the stupid expensive Prosecco she loved. This party was supposed to be our quiet vow renewal in front of 60 of our closest friends. Now the fairy lights looked like crime scene tape. I drifted through the crowd like a ghost, the bottle sweating against my palm. People kept slapping my shoulder. "Great bash, man." But their voices arrived underwater. Sarah's best friend, Jenna, tried to pull me into a selfie. I smiled with my teeth and kept moving until I reached the kitchen island. There, tucked behind a tower of cupcakes, sat Sarah's clutch. The clasp was open. Inside, her phone, a tube of the coral lipstick I'd bought her in Santorini, and the platinum band engraved "Forever isn't long enough," and she'd taken it off on purpose. My thumb hovered over her screen. The lock code was still our anniversary. Notifications glowed. 3 missed calls from M2 hearts. A string of heart emojis, and a photo I wished I'd never opened. Mark's hand sliding up the bare thigh of a woman whose face was cropped just below the nose. The birthmark on her knee was unmistakable. I must have made a sound because Jenna appeared at my elbow. "You okay? You look like you're gonna hurl." I couldn't speak. The room tilted. Jenna followed my gaze to the phone, and her face drained of color. "Oh, Nate." Across the room, Sarah finally noticed me. Her smile faltered. She excused herself from Mark, smoothing the front of her emerald dress, the one I'd zipped up an hour ago while kissing the nape of her neck. She crossed the floor like she was walking a tightrope. "Hey, birthday boy," she tried, voice too bright. "Having fun?" I lifted the ring between my fingers. "Looking for this?" Her eyes flicked to the band, then to the phone still glowing in my other hand. Something inside her folded. "Nate, it's not. Don't." The word scraped out raw. "Don't lie on top of everything else." Mark started toward us, concern creasing his forehead. I turned and cut straight to the DJ booth. My pulse hammered in my ears louder than the music. I tapped the microphone. Feedback squealed. The room hushed. "Excuse me, everyone." My voice cracked, but I kept going. Quick announcement. My wife, Sarah, took off her wedding ring tonight. I found it in the kitchen. I also found other things. I held up her phone so the screen faced the crowd. Gasps rippled outward. Someone killed the music. Sarah's face went chalk white. "Nate, please. I loved you every single day for 8 years," I said into the silence. "I built our life on the belief that when you said forever, you meant it. Turns out forever had an expiration date I wasn't privy to." Mark reached for my arm. I shrugged him off. "You were the best man at our wedding. You toasted to loyalty. Remember?" He opened his mouth, closed it. The room was a held breath. Sarah's tears finally spilled. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I got scared. The mortgage, the baby conversations, the way we stopped laughing at each other's jokes. Mark made me feel alive." I finished. "Funny. I thought that was my job." I set the ring on the edge of the DJ table. It spun once, then settled with a faint clink. "Keep it, Sarah. Or don't. Doesn't matter anymore." I walked out through the backyard, past the fairy lights now flickering like dying stars. Behind me, voices erupted, shock, anger, someone crying. I didn't look back. The night air hit my wet cheeks. I stood under the oak where we'd carved our initials the first summer we moved in, and I let the sobs come hard and ugly, the kind that tear your ribs open. Hours later, Jenna found me on the porch steps. She sat without speaking, just rested her head on my shoulder. Dawn bled pink across the sky. She's gone, Jenna said quietly. Packed a bag. Mark too. I nodded. The ring finger on my left hand felt strangely light, like a limb I'd forgotten I had. What happens now? Jenna asked. I stared at the empty space where Sarah's car used to park. I stop measuring my life in forevers, I said. And I start learning how to breathe again. The sun rose fully, indifferent and golden, and for the first time in years, the morning belonged only to me.